Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to share with you a little bit about practicing with the ing form of a verb. And we're going to be practicing in present tense. We're also going to be practicing giving some negative answers and also answering or asking and answering questions. Hoy, nosotros practicar verbos continuos con ing, verbos con ing presente, también preguntas con verbos con ing y respuesta preguntas con verbos con ing. Okay, so I'm going to start by sharing with you just a chart that shows how the information that we need to remember when we are using ing verbs. And here is a good example. It talks about calling 911, and you can see that it's listed the present tense verbs, but in this example, it's listing the negative. So if you were giving the positive, you would leave off not. Por positivo is no necesito not. Por negativo, necesito not. Okay, and so here's our examples. I am not calling 911. You are not calling 911. He is not calling 911. She is not calling 911. We are not calling 911. You are not calling. And the last one, they are not calling. Remember, when we talk about using ing verbs, this first verb, the verb of to be, is very important because that verb is telling how many people and when the action is happening. Primero verbo es más importante porque es por cuántas personas y cuándo acción. Okay, and also notice that what you're saying is, remember, we have to use two verbs. So we have to be, am, and then we have the action, calling. For the negative, we're putting not in the middle. Por negativo, la palabra negativo is medio. Am, calling, and we need not in the middle. Okay, so looking at our examples, here we have is being used to talk about one person and are for more than one person. Remember, that's really important. And in these examples, we are always talking about present tense. Okay, so for today, por hoy, siempre hablar presente. Okay. Also remember, you can use contractions for these as well. So if I want to say I'm calling 911, it's the same as I am. Or if I'm saying I'm not calling 911 with the negative in there, it's the same as I am not calling. Okay, let's look at the last example. They're calling. Remember, that would match up here with they are calling 911. I'm going to switch over to the next screen here. Sorry. That's going to show you a little bit more practice. And this is how you might phrase a question and an answer using ing. So here are some yes/no questions. And you can see what's happened is the verb is now flipped to be the first word in the sentence. Okay. The part about the verb needing to show how many people and when is still the same. Es mismo por cuántas personas y cuándo. So these are present tense verbs, is and are, and they are going to match, they're going to be the same as the person who, for the number of people doing the action. So here are our people we're talking about that is one person. And so the question is going to use the verb is. Is he calling 911? Is she calling 911? Notice for our responses or our questions that are about more than one person, are you calling? Remember, you is the princess word. You is solo una persona, pero is princesa palabra. Okay? And then they, more than one, más, are they calling? You can see the answers here then. You're going to be following that same format where you have to have the right verb with the right number of people. Okay? And then here's the contraction form for the answers. This is just giving you something to look at and a chance to see how it looks on a chart. Sometimes that is better for other people. Okay. The next thing I'm going to share with you is an opportunity to practice using those things. So I'm going to share with you some questions, and we are going to write the correct form of the question using the correct verb. Okay, so here is our example. And we have 3 words we want to use. The EMTs come. And so we're going to need to change that into the correct question. Okay, es pregunta, pero is no correcto. Okay, EMTs might be a new word for you, is medical technician, emergency medical technician. They are the people who work on an ambulance. So persona trabajo in ambulancia nombre is EMT. Now, to ask the question for these words, I first need to decide how many people. ¿Cuántos personas? If I look at the name of the person, mira nombre, terminad S. So it's ending in S. That tells me más, more than one people. Which verb do I use for more than one person? Is, are. Más persona is, are. I need to use the verb are. Are the EMTs. Now I have my verb come, my action. But when I am writing this sentence, remember we're practicing ing. So come is incorrecto. Es necesito usar verbo con ing. So I need to change come to coming. Are the EMTs coming? This is my question. How do I spell coming? Look at the word coming. Notice, nota, que letra is terminal. What letter is on the end? This is a vowel pattern, vowel, consonant, silent E. Because it is vowel, consonant, silent E, I need to get rid of the E, no más E, and add ing. Here is my spelling for coming. My correct sentence, are the EMTs coming? Let's try number 2. Our words are the cars and move. I need to look first at the noun, el sustantivo, cars. ¿Cuántos? How many cars? 1 or más? It is more than 1. So that means I have to decide which verb. ¿Cuál verbo? Is, are. Which verb is for more than 1? Is, are. Are the cars. Now I need to finish my action verb. Move. Move is the verb, but I need ing. Look at the vowel pattern. Vowel, consonant, silent E. How do I spell move? No more E, I-N-G. My question is, are the cars moving? Let's look at number 3. The man bleed. Bleed, remember, is singular. Okay. How many people? ¿Cuántas personas? 1. Only one man. So when I am writing this, is, are, which verb is for one person? Is, are. Is for one person. Is the man. Now, bleed is my action. How do I spell bleed? It has no silent E, and it is not a consonant vowel consonant, so all I do is add ing, bleeding. Here is my question. Is the man bleeding? Look at number 4. The woman smile. Smile. All right, think about how many people. Pensar, ¿cuántas personas? Think about the verb. Pensar. ¿Qué verbo? Is or are? Pensar. How do I spell smiling? Think about how to spell smiling. Here is the correct sentence. Is the woman smiling? Why are we using is? One person is. How did we spell smile? Smile ends with an E. No more E, add ing. Look at number 5. The children play. Think first, how many people? Which verb is or are? How do I spell playing? All right, here's our answer. Are the children playing? Are, because there are more than one. Playing, it is no silent E and no vowel consonant vowel. AY is one sound. So playing is spelled P-L-A-Y-I-N-G. All right, last one, number 6. The police officer work. Think about how many people. Think about if you need the verb is or are. Is or are. And think, how do I spell working? All right, here is the answer. Is the police officer working? Is, one person. The verb is. How do I spell working? Just add ing. Archaic ends with 2 consonants, so there is nothing special about that answer. All right, the next thing we're going to look at are a few more ways to use those kind of questions and answers. So I'm going to share with you a situation, a picture, and you're going to be giving an answer for the question this time. Here is the picture. You can see we have lots of different vocabulary in it. think for a minute. I see an ambulance, a park, a car accident, a man who is hurt or injured, and the police officer. Okay, now we're going to answer the questions. So look at number 1 and think of the answer. Are the EMTs coming? Remember, this is a yes/no question, so I'm going to respond with yes. I see in the back the ambulance. Remember, EMTs. EMT is the name of a person who works on the ambulance. Yes. More than one person or one? EMTs. I see a letter S, more than one. They are coming. Okay. Or I can just answer they are. Yes, they are. Okay. Look at number 2. Are the cars moving? Moving, going. Moving and going are the same idea. Are the cars going? No. So I'm going to give my answer. No. I need to think about how many cars. ¿Cuántos? More than one. So I will use they. And now I'm giving a negative answer, and I'm going to use, I can say, no, they are not. That's correct. Or I can use the contraction, no, they aren't. That is also correct. Look at number 3. Is the man bleeding? Bleeding. Look closely at the picture. Do you see blood? No blood. So I need to give a negative. No. How many people? Only one, and it's a man. He is not. Or I can give the contraction, isn't. No, he isn't. Are the children playing? Children playing? Yes. How many children? More than one. They are. Look at number 5. Is the police officer working? Yes. How many police officers? 1. Is it a man or a woman? Woman, she, and Hermes is. Okay. All right. For our next section, we're going to look again at that same type of question asking. This time, it's just going to give you a lot of practice with asking and answering questions. They call it in a chain, so it is like a list, okay? So you're going to be able to see a list of questions and answers and hopefully go pretty fast through those responses. I'm going to do one with you, and then I'm going to let you, I'll pause the video or stop the video and give you an amount of time to work on giving the answer, okay, on your own. So here's the example. You're going to see the first sentence, the ambulance is coming, and then you're going to see the arrow pointing to a word you need to use next. So in this case, the ambulance is coming, but in the next sentence, I need to use the word not. So now my sentence says the ambulance isn't coming. It makes it a negative. Okay, here's the sentence. The ambulance isn't coming. Now I need to change it to a question. So it is changing or adding to the sentence. Is the ambulance coming? There is the question using the word is, and we did that here. Here is the next step, EMTs. So I need to change ambulance to EMT. Are the EMTs coming? All right, let's try the example in blue together, and then I will let you do the others on your own. All right, I'm calling the doctor. What is the change? She. So I need to change it to she. She, key verbal, she. She is calling the doctor. Correcto. Or, oh, excuse me, un momento. That is correct, okay? Now we're gonna change it to a negative. Here's our word not. So now we have a couple of options. She is not calling the doctor, correcto? Or I can use the contraction. She isn't calling the doctor. Now, look at the next example. They want us to make a question. Pregunta. Starting with is what person? She. And what action? Calling the doctor. Need to end with my question mark. Is she calling the doctor? All right, one more. You. So it wants me to change she to you. Is you calling the doctor? No! You. I do not say you is calling the doctor. I say you are calling the doctor. So I need to change my verb to are. Remember, you is a princess word. It does not follow the rules. It's one person, but we use are with it, okay? Now, for practice at home, a really good way to practice is just to read the list. Por practicar en tu casa, bien, un momento. Por practicar en tu casa es bien leer lista in English. I'm calling the doctor. She is calling the doctor. She isn't calling the doctor. Is she calling the doctor? Are you calling the doctor? The more you read and speak and write correct verbs, the easier verbs get. For practice, I'm gonna give you a minute on the video here where I will pause it, and I'm gonna have you go ahead and do the purple and the yellow boxes on your own, okay? So take a minute on your video, stop the video, escribir your answers for the purple and the yellow, write down your answers for purple and yellow, and then in a minute, come back and you can look and see. I will fill in the answers for you and you can check your responses. Okay, so necesito lápiz y papel, escribir respuesta por morado y amarillo caja. All right, hopefully you paused, stopped the TV, wrote down your answers, and now you're looking to see if you're correct. We're watching TV, making it a negative. We are not watching TV. Or with the contraction, we aren't watching TV. Now we're changing the verb. The action is different. No more watching. We aren't sleeping. Now the person is different. No more we. They aren't sleeping. And now I'm changing it to a question. Are they sleeping? All right, look at our yellow example. The students are talking. Change it to teacher. The teacher are talking. No! Teacher is one person, students are more. I need a different verb. The teacher is talking. Now I change it to a question. Is the teacher talking? Now I'm going to change it back to students. Is the students talking? No! Don't forget to change the verb. Are the students talking? Let's do it as a negative. The students are not talking. Okay. There are my answers to those sentences. And again, for practice at home, a really good way to practice would just be to read those lists to yourself. The more you hear correct English, the more it goes in your head and the more you are able to remember what you were hoping to do. All right, we have a few more sections that we're going to complete here. I'm going to just share a few other examples of ways to use that question and answer format. And this will again give you a chance to practice at home. You can say it out loud or if you by yourself, or if you have another person at home who wants to help you practice, they could also help you. So if we were in class, this would be the person in, one person would read what was in green and the person in blue would give the response. Okay, so una persona is palabras en verde. Segunda persona is palabras en azul. Okay, so I'm going to do this by being the person in green, and you can be the person in blue to give an answer, either a positive or a negative answer. Okay, so if you were looking at the newspaper example number 1, are you reading a newspaper? ¿Qué estudias usted? Look at number 2. Are you answering the phone? ¿Qué es tu respuesta? What is your answer? Number 3. Are you filling out a form? Number 4. Are you driving a car? Number 5. Are you riding a bike? Number 6. Are you counting money? Number 7. Are you drinking coffee? Number 8. Are you getting dressed? Number 9. Are you cleaning a room? Number 10. Are you using a computer? All right, so you had a chance to give your answer. Now, another way to practice at home would be to go back through, and now you become the person in the green. So on your paper, write down the question that you would use for asking a person about number 1. So for practice at home, write down the questions. Are you reading a newspaper? Are you answering the phone? Again, it just gives you more practice writing those words together, okay? Also, if you have a person at home who can help you, this would be a good activity to do with them. All right, we have one more activity that we are going to be looking at. Sorry. Let's go ahead and look at our final activity for practicing ing verbs. And this is a chance to practice, can I hear when something is incorrect? So one of the best ways to know that you are understanding English is when you are noticing a mistake. So when you can hear the error and you go, oh, wrong, then that is a good thing for learning English. Cuando escuchan inglés, tú escuchan error, tú pensar, no, así es incorrecto. Then you know, I am learning. So let's look at these sentences, and you're listening to whether or not the sentence is correct. Is it using the correct verb? And you're only needing to think about the two verbs is and are. Okay, so for understanding if there is an error, it will be with the verb is or are. Si error, con verbos is, are. Look at number 1. Are the EMTs taking the people to the hospital? Is this correct or incorrect? How many people? Más. What verb? Are. This is correct. Number 2. Dr. Franco and Dr. Borchard aren't work now. Incorrect. Why? When I use aren't, this verb must be ing. The correct words are Dr. Franco and Dr. Borchard aren't working now. Este verbo is working, no work. Number 3, I'm not calling 911. Correct? Incorrect. I'm not calling 911. Incorrect. I am missing my to be verb. I need 2 verbs. Necesito usar dos verbos con ing. I am not calling 911. This sentence needs the verb am. Number 4, is the person bleeding? Correct. Number 5, I'm not sleeping. Correct or incorrect? Correct. Remember that I'm is the contraction for I am. I am not sleeping. Number 6, are you go to the emergency room? Correct or incorrect? This is incorrect. Go needs ing. Are you going to the emergency room? Okay. All right. That is the end of our lesson for today on ing verbs. Remember, the hardest part there are things you want to pay attention for. You want to watch for which helping verb should you use, is or are or am. And then you also need to be watching for how to spell the verb with ing. Okay, those direcciones es más importante. Or dos instrucciones es más importante. ¿Qué verbos? Is, are, am. Okay. And how do I spell ing? ¿Cómo es correcto spelling por ing? Okay. I will be sending some homework out today that is paper pencil, so you can practice writing as well. So for practice at home, there is much to practice in this video. There will also be a paper coming on your phone as a picture that you can practice writing. And then of course, continue to practice in Burlington. We are looking at number 7, the safety unit.